Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pharmaceutical Soccer. We are now less than a week away from Nashville SC's first match, first home opener, first everything, which is always my favorite time of the year. It is our annual prop bet episode. We've now been doing this for five. This will be our now sixth time, I believe, doing this episode. I'm extremely excited, but first, I got to ask my friends here, Clay Trainum and Valer Shabilla, how their weekends were. Valer, how was your weekend?
My weekend. What did I do? You ever get a question like, name a soccer player and then you forget all of them? That's literally what happened. I've known this question was coming and I still don't know. Clay, you talk about your weekend while I think about it for a second.
I had a lot going on this weekend. So I had something going on pretty much every single day. So on Friday, I went to go see Anne Juliet at TPAC. Had a blast. It was a very good time. And then Saturday, I watched the mighty Everton Football Club win another match, this time on the road. They are the form team in the Premier League right now, which is insane to say. And then I, did some basketball stats and hung out. And then yesterday I went to see the Vitamin String Quartet and also, dealt with that big storm. So got some work going on at the house as a result of that. So there's a lot of stuff going on this past weekend. Very poppy weekend, I guess.
Despite what you heard earlier, I did not forget that Friday was Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to everybody there who celebrates. Kind of got myself in trouble a little bit there, I guess. But yeah, good weekend all around. Hang out with some friends, hang out with the girlfriend. Just I think what I was really happy that there wasn't a game this weekend because I also realized that Nashville SC season is about to start the following weekend, and Saturdays all of a sudden become like an event day. You know what I mean?
Just
Whether it's an afternoon
non-existent.
game or a night game, it's just I'm unavailable for most of that day and night for the most part. So I think I enjoyed this one a little bit more just because it was the last one before I bring you all the coverage, the best coverage here at 615 Soccer and Pharmaceutical Soccer.
It's always I have some, like, what do I want to do this weekend? Let's check the schedule really quick to see when
Yeah.
Nashville SC is playing and when it could fit into my schedule and if I'm able to go do this thing or not. Which is really unfortunate for like I have to go to a wedding this weekend, so I'm gonna be like watching on my phone, the Nashville SC match, of course. Um,
That's not a good sign. Nashville SC doesn't typically have a good record during weddings that we attend.
no, they do not,
I
unfortunately.
once, for those initiated, I once did a full reaction video from Clay's wedding to Nashville SC losing at DC, no, Montreal, losing to Montreal. So this was 2 years ago, right, Clay?
No, it was DC. One, it was DC, but there was another one that was a loss to Montreal. We've done
Okay.
multiple losses from weddings.
There's that, I guess.
Well, we
That
have
tells you
brought it up
everything.
before where unfortunately it's not going to happen as Blair is now press box material and all that. Like, can we bring up like the after 2 in the morning Nashville SC reviews after you've been out? I would love to bring those back. It's not happening, but
I'm not ashamed of my history. It is what it is. We had to work our way up.
Hey, hey, your history is what made you, you
Right.
know,
Right.
so
like warts and all,
I
warts
love to
and all.
tie like random things and like before we get
Describe an
into
NSC player using Marvel quotes and all. All the great Pharma soccer premises.
so I had a good weekend as well. I watched Lord of the Rings all the way through, and I'm not like the yeah. It was at the movie theater. They were playing all of them at the movie theater in walking distance towards me, so I pretty much sat there the entire Saturday and did that, which was a good time. But also something I did over the weekend, which I'm not a big hockey person, but I watched a ton of this like nations like the four nations face each other. It's been great. Question for you. Do you think MLS could ever in a million years pull that off? Get like the four major nations of like USA, like the teams involved, just MLS. Do you think they could pull that off
What I would love to see is an all-star of US guys versus rest of the world. I think that would be really fun. Like put
at
two
MLS, like MLS
yeah.
level, right?
Yeah, like you know how they get like the most all-stars events I've enjoyed from MLS was when they got the Liga MX guys in here.
Yeah.
I even when they played Arsenal, I couldn't care less because it was just like this is like a well-established team, and this is like some guys they brought from all around the country. So what I would like to see is like either MLS versus rest of the world, or like you said, like four different nations, or whatever. Like, I think there's a really good Argentinian, like a healthy player pool of Argentinian people in MLS, and I think they can probably get a good team out of it. But I think to make it like really exciting, at least half of them are American, right? So then the rest of them, or America, Canada, like Team North America, even America, Canada, Mexico, if you want, versus rest of the world or something like that. It's kind of like the East-West thing. I think that would be like a lot more entertaining than just bringing, I don't know, Bayern Munich to beat up on, you know, on the All-Star team.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just watching that over the weekend, and like just like the marketing around it, like the way that it seems like a real competition. Like
There were
it's a
three
lot.
fights in 9 minutes
Yeah. Three
or
fights
nine
in 9
seconds.
seconds. Yeah, it was 3 fights
9 seconds.
in 9 seconds, which apparently they were texting before the game to try to coordinate those. Just amazing stuff.
Hockey
But
fights are like wrestling at some on some level. Like
oh,
it's all
absolutely.
like it's not determined who wins, but it's like, all right, we're gonna fight. And so it doesn't feel to me, it doesn't feel as like natural because it's all been set up before the game.
Well, you do know who
Very
is ready.
schoolyard bully. Meet you at, such and such's backyard at 3 p.m.
Well, you know who is ready for a fight though, upcoming this weekend. That would be us, ready for Nashville SC's first home match, of course, against New England Revolution, which means it is time for the annual Prop Bet Awards. Prop Bet Awards, Prop Bet, just prop bets.
Prop bet episode.
Prop bet episode. I guess it's an episode. This is how we preview the season. There's going to be a lot of previews out there. I did a preview. This is how we do it. And I'm going to have Clay explain how everything works.
Yeah, we've done our fair share of previews for the season that are more normal, more realistic, more I guess accepted in podcast forums. And so we came up with this very, very stupid way of previewing the season several years ago. And we have a lot of new listeners this year, so shout out to the 615 folks. But these aren't really bets in the traditional sense in that there's no money on the line and that there's no odds. So essentially, all of us have been given $100 and told that we have to spend $100. And whoever can retain the most money after these 10 questions at the season ends wins the event. And so some are fairly normal and some are not normal at all. And all that really matters is that Valair doesn't win. That's the only thing that really matters is that one of us has to win. And one of the newer things this year with these questions is that we are involving everyone who listens into the annual prop bets. We're going to have a prop bet listener champion, which we've never done before. So keep your eyes on social media and your inboxes for that, because you'll have a link where you can participate with us. And then even if we don't beat Valair, hopefully one of you guys will beat Valair.
I
No
hate
longer be champion.
I hate to tell you something. I'm winning this year.
Sure. Cool.
All right, buddy.
I hate to tell the both of you. I am winning this year.
All right,
Hey,
little Stevie. It's okay.
Everton's as close to Champions League as they are to relegation right now. So I mean, like,
All right, y'all be
anything can
shocked.
happen.
And may I just interject real quick? The reason why Clay and Steven and everybody else presumably listening doesn't want me to win is because I've won 4 out of 5 years of doing this thing. The only time I didn't win was last year. Shout out producer Omari, who, I blame him for not winning. But the previous 4 years beforehand, I won every single one because that is the hard hitting journalist um, promise that I give everybody listening to this is that I know this team better than anyone else.
The key really lies in how much money that you put on the line. So you got to really back the ones that you believe in and go with it. And so that's a tip to everyone who will be playing along with us this year. But with that said, this is the prop bet episode. There's no money actually on the line. It's just whoever can hold on to the most of their money at the end of this wins.
I really hope at one point when we do this, at some point when we get, I don't know, whatever, or we're not, I would like 1 year actual money to be involved.
It will not be on TV. It will not be on TV. Jeez, it will not be live. That's something me and you on the side can get a phone call about. Let's
I literally cannot do that.
We will not be recording again for the last time. This is not real money. And even the ones with the share, we share the link out. There will be no real money involved in this.
Oh, I am so excited to do this again. I think we are ready. I will do Omari's. Omari unfortunately cannot join us on the show. Joel is here, kind of, but I'm not sure if we have his audio specifically, so I
We'll
can.
just we'll just recap Joel and Amari's picks at the end.
You want to do that at the end? Okay,
At
we'll
the end
just
of each category.
at the end of each category. Cool. We'll do that at the
Yeah.
end of each category. So let's start. Let's do it. First goal is going to be our first question for today. I'm going to give the apparent champion the honor of trying to reclaim his title. Valer, first goal.
Hani Mukhtar, $10. Easy. Don't even have to explain it.
Oh, why don't you have to explain it?
I don't
Cool.
have to. I'll let Clay do it for me.
Cool. Well, I'm not going to explain Hani Mukhtar. I think that's the coward's pick, the chicken pick. He's going to choose the all-time leader in goal scorer.
Winner's
Ooh,
pick.
way to go out on a limb,
Of
Valaire.
course, yeah,
Way
of
to way to
course,
make a
because he's gonna
bold
act like,
prediction.
yeah, I'm so cool. I know this team better than anybody. Did you know
Yeah.
that Hani Mukhtar is a goal scorer for National SC? This is
Which is why
crazy.
I'm not trying to
which
impress anyone.
which is why
I've already
I'm
reached my
going to
level.
predict Nashville SC MLS original first goal scorer, Walker Zimmerman, for the first goal. And I'm putting $11 on that.
Ooh.
I think Walker, he's got a good record. He's got a good goal scoring record for a center back. We got some guys that can provide a little more service this year than in years past. So I think Walker scores. And I'll go out on a limb. This doesn't count as part of the bet. I'm just putting Walker as goal scorer. But I think it might come off a Hani Mukhtar corner, and Nashville hasn't been as good scoring off corners this year. So I'm
This is
going.
ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The fact that you can add that disclaimer at the end and have it not count, but when I did it, it didn't
Oh,
count.
You
you said
specifically said to
specifically.
put it on there.
Yeah, you said to count that.
We told you
Clay,
not to do that, and you did it anyway, and it cost you the championship in 2020.
what was the value?
11.
Thank you. Steven, what you got?
Hmm. All right. As I have stated, I'm winning this year. And I have decided to take a different task and role in the way I accomplish this. And I'm very excited to just kind of give you some ideas because I'm thinking, 5 years ahead, unlike you two Nimrods who are not going to beat me this year. But first goal is going to be Eddie Tagseth. Eddie is going to get the first goal for $1.
Value? How much?
$1.
Okay.
$1.
Ian's
Eddie
setting
is
up to
going to
put
get the
like all
first
of his
goal.
on something stupid.
And then just so we're doing this, all five of us, including Joel and Omari, have different goal scorers for the first goal, which I think is a first. I don't know.
That's kind of fun. It's kind of
Yeah,
fun,
that's
actually.
if you know what, I'm gonna give everybody else listening the field. So if anybody out of those five scored, you win. But not fill in your form, but just for the fun part. So Joel has Schaffelberg and Omari has Alex Muyl.
Next, I don't remember doing this question this early, but I'm here for it. First red card. Let's start with Clay this time. First red card.
He was pretty quick to get a red card in his first few games with NSC, and he goes in there a little bit wild on tackles, which we love, but is also dangerous. I'm going with Patrick Yazbek, and I have put a grand total of $7 on it.
Well, that was my pick, Clay.
So you
So
can't
why
make the
don't
joke
you
of great minds don't think like me, blah blah blah, because it's the same pick.
why don't you back off? I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go Yas back, but I'm gonna go $20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Steven?
Going for
Really
it.
backs it.
Uh Instead of Eddie Tagseth, I'm gonna go with Edvard Tagseth for first red card. He's gonna come into this league hot and ready to go and get a red card, and that'll be for $1.
All right. And just
Gonna
to
do the
complete
Tim
that,
Cahill, get a red card and a goal in the same game in his debut.
Absolutely. That'll absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen because I'm not like having that be a part of my money finances as we've now
oh,
discussed that I can't specify anything and it's fine.
look at you learning. Learning on the job. This is the second time around.
Took 6
For
years, but I'm here.
producer Romario was Lovitz, and for Joel Palacios, wild guess. Again, all five. Well, no, four different answers, I guess. From us. Steven, I'm gonna let you go first since Clay and I went first on the first two categories. First hat trick.
It's
Who
Eddie
do you have?
Taxath.
Thank you very much. It is not Eddie Tagseth. It is Ed Tagseth this time. For $1, Ed Tagseth is going to get the first hat trick of the season.
Clay?
I have faith in him. I have $3 worth of
Yeah, you
faith
have a lot of faith
in
in
Eddie
him.
Tagseth this year.
So first hat trick. I chickened out just like Flair did on the first one. I put Sam Surridge, and I put $14 on this one. I
I
think that the addition of Service plus the fact that Surge now has a hat trick already with an SC under his belt, I think he's getting another one.
I also went transfer it. Clay, stop. But I only put $10 instead of Clay's 14.
Can we
Yeah, I
talk
mean,
about Omari going my way with this answer? Like,
It's
I'm
a
sorry.
wild choice. Omar made a
I
can
wild
I
choice.
love you,
can I
Omari.
introduce it first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I
Producer
apologize.
Omari went for a damn sippage. So that's wild. While Joel went for Sam Surge as well. So three Surges, one Sipich, and one Taxeth. I do think, honestly, Steven, I know you're doing this as a bit with Taxeth, but just to give you a little bit of analysis,
Oh,
like
geez, here we go.
I am not I am not gonna rule out that he does these three things. I think there's a good chance he will score the first goal for the season, get the first red card, and get the first hat trick for NSC. I just don't think he is as likely as the players I picked. That doesn't mean it's unlikely. Like usually your picks are out of this world. Like it's never gonna happen. This is a lot closer than you've done in the past.
We have a long episode to go.
I do think it's worth noting the reason that we have first hat trick on here in the first place is that a hat trick did not happen for NSC for a very long time after starting to play. And then it was only Hani Mukhtar getting hat tricks, literally until last year when Sam Surge got one.
Well,
And so the idea that we could, you know, reliably say that there are multiple people who could score one is like a really fun thing that NSC hasn't been able to say in most of the years that NSC has existed.
if you are a longtime listener as well, we unfortunately this year, and it is unfortunate, we did have to get rid of, change a couple questions out. This year, we did have to change out first player to dramatically change their hair because since Alex Mawil has not happened yet, which obviously means now that it's not on our sheet, it's going to happen this year, right?
I think we're going to see something wild hair wise.
Like, I think Eddie might shave his head. So if I had the ability to do that, I would put that on here. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting
He
ahead of
might
my.
go, he might go mullet like
Oh,
Schaffelberg.
we might go mullet. You're right. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Valaire, non-DP All-Star. Who do you got?
I'm gonna take a page out of your book, Steven, and say Teddy Taxeth.
Yay!
I think he has the potential to be an all-star. I think what makes me say this more so than just his potential and him individually is the way the team plays, and the team plays to his strengths, and he adds a lot to the team in his position. So, if Nashville is successful and this actually comes through, then Nashville will be over the moon with something like that because that would be, I mean, he'll be the first non-DP All-Star Nashville has ever had. And all-star rosters are not easy to get into when you're not a big name player, and he certainly isn't a huge known name. So I think it would be something that will benefit the team and benefit him individually as well. And I'm only putting $5 on this.
Even you can go ahead and say tax Seth for $1.
How do you know that I'm going to say tax? I don't even have it written down.
I wrote it down for you.
It's not the. Yeah, it's true. That is what I have. I was going to say my man, ED Taxeth, but I don't know how long I can continue those nicknames. I keep going.
Well, and then for me, because I did not say tag Seth, although that's what I want to say. I think that that's the more reliable pick. I instead figured that I would show up Valair for not being proud of his own countrymen. And so I am
He hasn't
going to
been
say,
signed.
I am going to say, Ahmed Kasim is Kasim, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh, will be the guy who will have the breakout season. I don't think any of these guys are going to make the All-Star team, but if we're going to talk about somebody who's going to break out, I'm going with him, and I put $6 on it. So I'm glad that someone could believe in Iraqi players on this show.
Belair hates his own country,
It's
confirmed.
not Belair, shockingly. But
Hey,
I'm here for it.
look, he has like 15 countries, okay? So I don't know yet.
Valair hates
Uh,
Sweden, confirmed.
Also, just Omari and Joel agree on this one, which is the first one that they agree that Yazbek will be the player. So
Oh,
there's
look at
that.
that. That's a good one. That's a good one too, I think. All right, first to be
Steven, are you going to
traded.
take tag Seth on this one too?
We will find out. I'm gonna go last for this one. First to be traded or transferred. Valer, you go first this time.
I Y'all are gonna hate me for this one, but I think I kind of believe it. And I think Jacob Schaffelberg will be the first to leave Nashville
Ooh,
City.
ooh, that was so tough.
Um, I think I let me see how much I put on it. Only $5. So that that tells you how confident I am that that's gonna happen. Not very. But I think if I were to pick one player who has a good value within the league and outside of it as well. Who Nashville SC may be a little lost on how to deploy him in the best way. I think that'll be him. The alternative to that is that this formation plays to his strength and he's all of a sudden, a 10, 15 goal contributor. But that's the glass half full. The glass half empty is that there's no spot for him because this formation has no wingers. And what he excels at is playing in that space and behind and running. And, I don't see Nashville are trying to build up play a lot more than just, diagonal passes and long balls to Jacob Schaffelberg. So I can see it going either way, but if you were to ask me right now, that would be my pick. I think it'll be an internal within the league trade, and I think it will be underwhelming in the amount of money that Nashville will get for him. So that's my
No,
pick. That's not part of the thing. The only part of it is Schaffelberg traded.
yeah. I also put Schaffelberg down. I think that the other players that are on paper more likely to move, the reason they can't move is their contracts. And so I think Schaffelberg, in terms of the contract and in terms of the value that Nashville could get for him, Schaffelberg is pretty high on the list. And I don't even necessarily know that it'll be within the league. I think there's a chance that someone from outside of MLS comes for him and he goes at some point, in the summer. But I think it's likely. I put $12 on it.
Yeah, I think it would. You don't look into preseason a ton, right? We've stated this multiple times that don't look into it anything crazy, but I don't think Schaffelberg was a part of that first lineup once. I think he was mainly kind of on that second half, that second 45 minutes that definitely looked more of like a backup kind of squad player, which again, for the system that it is, I'm not looking too much into preseason, but that's not who Jacob Schaffelberger is. I think if anything, he's shown that he could be a starter at any team in MLS and succeed.
To be fair, I his best performances out of Canada have been off the bench. Like he's had multiple good Canada performances off the bench because think about
But
how
he's had
tired those
multiple
players
good
are.
Canada performances starting as well.
But not necessarily hitting the net as much. But all I'm saying is that think about how tired those fullbacks are, whether it's Taxeth or Muyl, giving them the work all game, and then 70th minute you have a very energetic, very fast guy running at you. I think there's a benefit to that.
His best performances for Nashville have arguably been off the bench. Like, I mean,
That's fair.
that like he is the prototypical go out there, change the game state, run, get after it. We haven't seen that a ton with BJ, and we haven't seen how that works in the system. But generally speaking, like Jacob Schaffelberg for 30 minutes late has been more effective than Jacob Schaffelberg for 60 minutes early. Give or take. He's had some games where he's been good all the way through, but I just think like that is of value to a lot of teams still, and that's of value to Nashville. And I don't think that that's necessarily an indictment on his ability to play. It's just the way it fits and the way he fits into a space where he can be successful. So
Yeah,
we'll see. There's every chance that he works out and has a great season too. Like he's a pretty good player.
right.
And I do want to say that the cash transfers that have been added into MLS could be something that will be utilized for Schaffelberg, especially if Nashville are trying to fund another external transfer because that can offset a little bit of that fee, whatever it may be, to go find a replacement or find something they need. So recently that's been more used, but since it became allowed in MLS that there's cash transfers, we see being used on more higher name players. But also we saw it with Ted Cudi Pietro from DC to Colorado, and I can see the Schaffelberg being around that 1.5 million, 2 million, range for a player like Schaffelberg within MLS. I do think the price goes up a little bit if it is within MLS. Steven, sorry, give us your first to be traded.
You guys know, you guys have gotten caught on. You know what I'm going to say. No, you don't, because that is not who I'm going to say. First traded for $1. Is it going to be a trade for $1? Who knows? But for $1, it is going to be Gaston Brugman is going to be traded for $1. And as we're talking about specifically, non-specifically, whatever, I'm going to tell you who that trade is going to be for.
Go ahead.
It's going to be for Anibal Godoy. We're going to realize that we made a mistake, and we're going to trade Gaston for Anibal Godoy mid-season,
Thanks,
and
Steven.
we're going to bring him back.
If that happens, I am quitting the show.
If that
just so
happens, Steven, if that happens, Steven, you win this year, and we'll just close the
yeah,
comment.
yeah. Just to complete this out, Jack Mayer was Omari's pick, and for Joel Schaffelberg as well. So three
And,
Schaffelbergs on this one.
and Mayer is one of the guys whose contract kind of makes him
Correct.
harder to move on. Uh, I do have like just a real quick question,
Yes.
and it's mostly because nobody selected him, but I wonder, you know, is this a situation where Bunbury might have been a good pick? Because I noticed in a lot of those training things, he was training separately from the team. And we know his contract is of value because of how inexpensive he is.
He to be fair, he was recovering from an injury.
Okay, gotcha.
That's why he was training alone. Um, it's when you're that age, I guess. So he wasn't excluded just to be excluded. And even one of the days I was at training, he was training alone, but then came back and talked to BJ during like the corner kick stuff, and he was kind of directing people as well. So he's involved. I do see your point though, especially if Nashville sign another player who can play in that striker role. Without them signing someone, I really can't see them getting rid of someone who can play there because
Yeah,
they don't have anyone else.
that was just more of a way of bringing it back around to see that to
Yeah.
follow up on the Bunbury training thing.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right. Is that there are people out there in MLS who would pay Nashville a good enough to let go of a 33, 34-year-old, striker, who is on a pretty club friendly contract for what he offers.
To keep everybody updated, Clay, you have spent $50 and have 50 left to go. Belair, same thing for you. You've also spent 50. I have $95 to spend as I have only spent 5. Omari is currently at $35 spent, and then Joel is currently at he is at 40. So we
I
shall move.
think, yeah, I think it's your question to go first, so I will ask it, Stephen.
Sure.
Leading goal contributor for the season, who is not named Hani Mukhtar. So in the past, this was leading goal scorer. We're counting goals and assists, and we're counting MLS assists as well. And this is for MLS purposes only, correct? The whole
Yes.
thing is so no playoffs, no um, Open Cup, nothing like that. Just who would be the leading goal contributor, goals and assists in the MLS regular season, other than Hani Mukhtar?
Well, his name hasn't been brought up yet, which means we're doing an injustice to ourselves. He contributed in preseason a lot, so he's going to be ready to go this season as well. $1 on the one and only Taylor Washington, having the highest goal contributions for Nashville SC. Look, he showed it in preseason. He's ready to go this season. I'm expecting at least one goal and 25 assists from Taylor Washington this season.
There will be
Play.
nobody happier than me if that happens, but
Yeah.
okay. Let's
Shout
hope
out
that
to
happens.
Taylor. Nobody has faith in you. I have faith in you, baby. You got this.
Coram Deo.
All right, Clay, who you got?
Yeah, I mean, this one feels like it's kind of a shoe in. I took Sam Surridge. I think Sam Surridge is probably going to score between 12 and 16 goals. I think he's probably going to have, if he's not having double digit assists, I think he's going to have at least 7 or 8 with the way that Nashville's going to play. So feels like a fair, I feel pretty confident in it. And so I put $21 on it.
And while Clay takes the easy way out, some
You're
of
damn right
us,
I did.
some of us try harder. And for me, I think the leading contributor, mainly this is going to be assists, but also I think there's 6 or 7 goals as well coming in. This is not part of the bet itself, but for me, it's Alex Muyl. I think Alex Muyl is going to have a really, really, really good season in terms of contribution. And I think folks are not giving him as much credit for how he played last season, and especially how he ended last season with BJ Callahan. And no, this is not a troll or a joke pick. I truly believe. I don't know. He might be the third on the line. I think Sturridge is still the second. Like Hani Mukhtar and Sam Sturridge, I feel like they're 1 and 2 in terms of contribution. But I want it to be a little different, and that's why I'm putting $10 on Alex Muyl to be the second with goal contributions. And I think the secondary assists are gonna be a big one here.
It's no secret. Valaire's been team wheel since day
Oh yeah,
one.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. He,
Yeah.
he like honestly, like he just it's incredible. You just watch him next game. It's so much fun. Uh, and then for Omari, it's Schaffelberg, so that's a little bit different than
I've
being
never
traded.
met somebody trying to slide so hard into Timothy Chalamet's DMs before in my entire life until I met Valaire.
What? Why would I like? Okay, I I like Timothy Chalamet. I guess like he's all right. I don't need to slide into his DMs. He was at the Belcourt, by the way, to promote his new movie like a
Yeah.
month ago, and apparently he just like it was so quick that his appearance like was super fast. I wasn't there, but
He
what
was
I
at the
heard,
Belcourt, and then the very next night he was on SNL. It was
yeah, he like
like,
walked it, like flew into Nashville, like walked into the Belcourt, said hello, and left. So anyway, it was an all right movie. I don't know anything about Bob Dylan, so I learned a little bit of his life, I guess. Anyway, why are we talking about Bob Dylan? Jacob Schaffelberg was Omari's pick, and then for Joel is Sam Surridge. So moving on. Actually, Steven, I'll let you do this.
Oh, thank you for letting me do my duties as host. I appreciate that. You're very kind. Valera, speaking of which, why don't you tell me who is the first former Nashville player to score against Nashville?
I will tell you once I look at my sheet, and I did look at my sheet. It's gonna be Forster Ajago, Big Forster, with RSL coming into town. I think,
We play Salt Lake this year?
yeah, yeah, Salt Lake come to Nashville. I think it's in April. Don't quote me on that. I just know
early
Forster
on.
Ajago is gonna score. And I talked about him last time. Well, not last time, but on the show before. I think so Salt Lake got rid of Chicho Arango and brought in Elias Manuel and Forster Ajago, and they're supposed to bring in a DP striker as well. Elias Manuel has some sort of fallout with the front office or the coaching staff, and he's not going to play. So the only striker left in that squad is Forster Ajago. Even if they sign someone today, there's a good chance it will take a while for them to get adapted and all that. While Forster Ajago has been playing with the team and been part of the preseason. So I think he's going to have a pretty good year, honestly, all things considered, for someone who was brought in from the re-entry draft. So I'm going to put $10 on Forster Jago to score against Nashville SC.
They're very
Ajago is a really good shout. I thought about it pretty hard and I ended up backing off of it. I also thought about Todd Ryan Anunga at Cincy, but instead I decided to settle on Lucas McNaughton off a free
Mm.
kick.
that's
He's
fun.
going to score a header for DC against Nashville. He's got a good scoring record, to be fair, for a guy certainly on his wages. So I'm choosing Lucas McNaughton and I'm putting $7 on it. And I just realized who Steven's going to pick, and I'm so annoyed.
Who am I going to pick?
Are you going to say Gaston Brugman after we trade him?
Absolutely not. That would
Oh,
have been
that's
really
hilarious.
that would have been really good though. I'm not gonna lie. My answer is even a
I
little
was
bit
certain that's what you were doing. I thought that's what you
that's
were setting up.
that is so good. Oh my God. I hate when my own answers are being called away. No, mine's a little bit different. Well, not different per se. It does fit in that ridiculousness though. This man is gonna miss being on the field as he is currently in the broadcast booth for MLS. He is going to come out of retirement and score one goal against Nashville SC. I don't know what team it's going to be for, but if you think about it, you guys only have like one team it can happen for with the players you pick. My person can come on for any one of these teams and be signed by them and be a former Nashville pick. Dax McCarty for $1.
I'm halfway surprised you didn't go with Ake Loba.
I mean,
Um, yeah, Steven, good pick, buddy.
my
Good going.
logic is undeniable. It's
Yeah, that's true. If
Brandon Vasquez is back in the league, isn't he? He could have been a good
he
one.
is, yes, but
my
again.
my actual, I don't think Nashville play Austin though. No, I don't think so. Um,
All right,
the
Clay. First game
No, hang on,
NFC.
hang on, hang on,
What?
hang on.
Oh, sorry.
We didn't say the other picks. So Omari picked Annabelle Godoy, fan favorite, and then Joel went with another DC United man who is Randall Leal, which honestly I can totally see happening. And then I just want to let you know who I was in between in terms of this, and I was in between Ajago and Don Baji, just so we're clear.
Yeah, I was
And I ended up
between
Don
with a
Baji's
McNaughton
a
and
good
Don
shout.
Baji.
yeah. So Steven,
DC's loaded up with NSC guys.
But even in Nest, he's just always the second pick, unfortunately, for Don Baji. Uh, in many, oh my God, that joke fits in so many different ways. I love it. Anyways, um, first game, NFC scores from a direct free kick. I'm gonna go let Clay go from this one.
So this one's a weird one to put on there, but the basis in is that Nashville used to be very good off direct free kicks because Hani Mukhtar was quite good at them. And then I don't know what happened, but then we were suddenly terrible at them and never scored off of them. And so this is a leftover, but we're leaving it in. And I think that the I think it gets broken pretty early on. I think Nashville scoring off a direct free kick against New England in the
oh,
opener. And I am going to put $6 on it.
all right. Well, that's something. I will go. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. I will go. I think the last free kick I remember, I think that was the last free kick Nashville scored was against Chicago at Nissan Stadium. Hani Mukhtar, part of his hat trick. If they have scored one after that, not remembering it. But because of that, I'm gonna go Chicago Fire at home, April 26th. Um, and Hani Mukhtar again, but obviously I'm just gonna say Chicago Fire, April 26th at home. And I'm gonna put sorry, I am gonna put $5 on that.
Um, we don't score a direct free kick. None for $1.
You can't do that.
What do you mean it
No,
can't do
I'm not
that?
allowing it. I'm not allowing it. You
Are you
can't take the field.
are
You
you
can't.
kidding?
We have to pick one specific game. You're taking all like no, no, we're not gonna do that. No.
Fine. Open Cup Championship. We score direct free kick.
Okay, you gotta
He gamed
specify
the
which
system
game.
there, Blair. He gamed the system.
$1. $1 U.S. Open Cup Championship.
The final.
The final.
Oh, okay.
Directly us Nashville SC being in the final of the Open Cup. We
Okay.
score a free kick. $1.
I'll give you that. I'll give you
Well,
that.
you
You don't
can
have to
give
get
me
angry at
that
me.
scenario, but you can't give me the scenario of none.
Yeah, of course. None is easy. And
It is ridiculous how loaded this thing is against me, even though we all know I'm not probably gonna win. But like this is how it's fine. It's fine.
We're about to find out who Steven really backs for the last question, and I
yeah.
find that a little problematic, but I'm looking forward to hearing what
Um
We have two more to go.
I know.
Joel joins Clay on the New England shout. And then for Omari is Charlotte away. And
Uh
I think is it Steven's turn to go first again?
it's not my turn. I will go Valaire for this time. You go first this
He
time.
was going to go nobody on this one again. He's going to try it again.
Wait, so I go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so the category is first loss. That's what you have to say.
Oh, hey,
Um,
Valaire, the category is first loss.
Thank you. And for me, I will pick the first loss to be New York Red Bulls, the first away game of the season, second game of the season. Um, I think just I think the Red Bulls are a really good team. And they added Choupo-Moting, who I don't think that adds a whole lot, but considering he's replacing Dante Van Zier, I think he's going to add a lot more than that. So let's just go with Red Bulls away for $20.
Um, no surprises here. Nashville has a pretty dreadful record in New York, kind of just overall. And so I also took the Red Bulls, but I put $13 on it. I will say this, the last time that I went up there for a Red Bull New York game, and they were just absolutely kicking Nashville's behind, we ended up just singing songs about how much space our houses and apartments had compared to theirs and how much we paid for rent. That was all that we could really do. That I was letting them know that I had 2.5 bathrooms and it cost me less than 2 grand a month, and that's all I could really talk about because there wasn't much to talk about in the game. So I'm going Red Bull New York away.
I am playing chess while y'all are playing checkers.
He's saying nobody.
No, no,
To
no,
get
no, no, no. I just want to say I got inspiration from this over the weekend. Shout out to Wemby, Victor Wembanyama, and Chris Paul for absolutely doing the NFL All-Star skill competition in the right way of
NBA
make
All-Star.
NBA All-Stars, whatever. Doing it the right way. Apparently they got disqualified for ridiculous reasons, whatever. But you both are dead on. You both are absolutely dead on, but you're going to lose now because for $91, Nashville SC is going to lose to Red Bulls New York.
Okay, so he's actually backing himself pretty heavily on that.
I,
Okay, so
I I told you
so
I'm winning this year, and I'm telling you why. That is absolutely the reason why. And the best part about it is that I will be in New York in attendance for this match. Sorry, New Jersey. I will be in New Jersey in attendance for this match. So
so
I get to witness my victory in prop bets this year firsthand. And
will
I
the
will be the
leader
only person in gold cheering when that happens.
will the leader of the Roadies, former leader of the Roadies, sorry, Nashville's original supporters group, will that leader, the face of the Capos worldwide, be cheering against his own team?
I'm not saying I'm cheering against them. I'm just
Wow.
saying if it happens,
Wow. I
I
really didn't
I
think
if it
you would change it like
happens,
that.
I all I know is that if someone for Nashville, just like James Tarkovsky's it, like 98th minute equalizer,
oh my God, it would be hilarious.
and Steven
I
loses
will
prop
be.
bets in added time in New York on an equalizer, it might be the greatest. I mean, it would go down
Well,
in
like I
history.
am scared. The worst thing that could possibly happen now is just another nil-nil draw against New York Red Bulls in New York, like always happens. So I am going
Blair,
out
you
on
and me, we can go up there and make sure that Steven loses prop bets because it'll be a nil-nil draw.
a.
Yeah. If all three of us are there, it's law.
It's not
Um,
no. It's law that whenever we play Red Bulls in New York, it's a nil-nil draw. Well, I
yeah,
think
and
we
No,
imagine if we add us three being there.
I
That's
think
like,
we yeah, that's true. I think we lost 2-0 one year, but we've never won in New York, right?
correct.
yeah, not a Red Bull Arena at least.
Yeah, not a Red
Yeah,
Bull
which is
Arena.
in New Jersey, but we're calling it New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other
Sports
two.
Illustrated Arena, please. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Please make
yeah,
sure you get it
whatever.
right.
So, Joel does agree with us on the Red Bull New York. So that's four people for Red Bull New York. Amari, however, tried to be special and went with Seattle away. And he put $30 on that. Sorry. So that's pretty substantial amount.
And that's pretty
Um,
far into the season, isn't it?
yeah, it's like I want to say May or something.
And then can I intro the last question?
Yeah.
'Cause it's a weird
Yes, you
one.
can. Yes, you can, Clay. And I will go first this time. I think it is my turn to go first. I will close us out first.
So there's been one sort of consistent thing, especially now that the manager has changed on the field for NSC since they've been around, honestly. And that is at some point, basically every season, a Nashville player has become a father. We have seen the put the ball under your shirt to celebrate, your partner getting pregnant several times, starting with Levo Moloto back in 2018. And then I got to explain this celebration to my wife last year, or I guess it was 2 years ago, when Hani Mukhtar did it. And then when Jacob Schaffelberg did it the next time, she like got super excited. She's like, Shaffy's having a baby. So, so
I actually
our
literally had no idea that that is the reason why. I
Wait,
literally had no idea.
really?
no. How did you not know
I
that?
don't know. Like I'm literally sitting here like going back into my brain like thinking like, "Oh wait, that is right. That is when Lebo had it." Like I seriously thought it was the weirdest celebration of all time because I've never understood.
No,
Wow. That is
I mean, how do you watch soccer this long and not know that that's what that means?
my favorite thing was I also explained it to my partner, my girlfriend. I explained to her that that's the celebration. Um, and then when Schaffelberg did it, she like texted me while I was in the press box. She was like, "It's so rude that he stole Hani's celebration." I was like, "No, no, like that's worldwide. Like everybody does it. Like it's not like Hani didn't come up with this, you know." So I think it's there are other celebrations we should say that are also pregnancy celebration. The thumb sucking one is a big one. The baby cradle thing is a big one. There are
Yeah.
multiple ones. There are
But
multiple ones out
typically,
there.
typically you do it's the ball under the shirt, and then after the baby's born, it's the cradle one. But
Yeah,
uh
but I mean, things get lost in translations all the time. But
yeah,
sorry to take your fame there, Clay.
either way, either way, it's been a staple. Somebody's been having a kid basically every single year that National SC's been around. And I am going to choose to let Steven go first on this one since he just discovered what we were talking about
I
live
literally am in
on Fun
shock right now.
Soccer.
God, I wish one of you were my partner to mansplain soccer to me. I don't know where I'd be without shut up. I'm gonna put a bow on it. He's gonna now that I know what it means, this man's gonna meet a nice Nashville lady this season. That would be the one and only Edvard Tagsith for $1.
Fair
It does
enough.
feel like a weird one, doesn't it? Like this guy's going to meet someone and
I
He
know.
also like
Weird.
he also
Now that I
could
know what it is, it's so much weirder to answer.
well also like he could already you know
yeah,
have a partner or a kid. I mean I don't know like
the
we don't know what's
stability of a contract in MLS, and things
yeah.
happen.
Um, I will go and I will say Jack Mayer for $5. Um, he's I think this question was based on like one thought that I had based on no actual evidence, but I think I saw him post on Instagram with a lady. And because like I think I saw that, and I honestly don't know. I can't tell you if that is true or not.
This question is getting so much more weird the
But
more we talk
look,
about it.
Instagram reporting, if you're hitting your mid-20s, your career's going all right, you got a girlfriend, wife. I honestly don't know. He could be a married person. Whatever he is. I think I'm gonna go with Jack Mayer.
I'm just going Sam Surridge. I'm not going to try and explain anything other than that.
Are you taking the volume there just because like he will score goals, so he's likely to do the celebration?
That's part of it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
put $3 on it. Uh, you know,
And
like Hani and Schaffelberg, they just had kids. So I'm going to go Surridge.
speaking of that, Joel seems to think that Schaffelberg will have another kid. So that's his
I have a
pick.
third kid.
And for Omari was Andy Nahar, which I actually did have in my short list for this question, but I don't know, just felt like Jack Muir seemed right.
I
Um,
100% thought Steven was setting up to put 91 on the pregnancy goal
I
celebration.
thought so
But
too.
then I
I
found out
really
he
thought
didn't know
so.
what that meant. So
Look,
Um,
I'm playing chess while y'all are playing checkers. I had it ready to go, lined up to a T of how I am going to win this year, and you're all like, "No, Steven, it's not going to happen."
I
Guess
can't
what?
tell you, I can't tell you how much I want you to get the other nine right.
Oh, the
I want
did
you to
not
go
get
nine
that
for
one.
10 and finish last.
Oh, This is and this you guys did your math right, correct?
Yep.
Congratulations. Those both have totaled up to 100. Omari also did his math right. And everybody did their math right. Very nice job. Very nice prop bet episode. Like,
And
how
just
confident are you?
as a reminder, you listening can play this year. So keep an eye out for all the socials and everything like that. In a couple days, there will be a link out there. Make sure to fill it out and tell us why our picks are wrong too, because well, we all know why Steven's picks are wrong, but that's besides the
Why
point.
mine are right? Excuse me.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. And if you're part of the NSC, sorry, the 615 Soccer Discord, first of all, thank you, and you can chat us on there as well.
Absolutely. And we will be back because we have a match to just we'll do a quick match preview on the follow, see if there's anything else that we need to talk about. But no, thank you guys for participating in the prop bets. Thank you, Clay and Blair, for participating. Thank you, Joel and Amari, for putting theirs out to us. We appreciate it. Again, we'll be back. We got to preview New England, give our predictions as well, and we'll do that next right here on Pharmaceutical Soccer. And we are back right here on Pharmaceutical Soccer at Pharma Soccer on our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And as always, do not forget to go check out 615soccer.com. That is our nice little independent Nashville SC news source where you can get all Nashville SC info in writing form as well. Join our Discord, all of that fun type of stuff. There's a lot of good communications and conversations going on. Clay getting in fights about Everton, Valaire saying weird things about getting in fights with Ben. All the great things are going on at 615soccer.com. So please go check that out. You can also join in on our MLS fantasy league that we have going on, and you can see our major predictions throughout MLS in the league. A lot of cool stuff going on there, so check that out, obviously, before the season starts. But as we've discussed, season is here. This is our first week that we get to actually talk about New England, predict how the match is going to go because it happens on Saturday at Geodis Park. Valaire, why don't you just kind of give us a little bit of a rundown of New England, what we should expect from a Nashville side? Give us your little prediction, or not prediction, just preview.
Yeah, I think when you look at Nashville SC, you see the amount of changes, and if you thought that's a lot of changes to happen year after year, New England had more. They brought in, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think 14 players this transfer window. Complete rehaul, shipped in about 17 players to San Jose specifically because that's where Bruce Arena went. But even just in terms of the talent they brought in, they are more of Caleb Porter's guys. Caleb Porter, two-time MLS champion, of course. He's the coach of New England. This is his second year with the team after a very, very disappointing 2024. So I think they have a lot to prove. Their academy has been one of the best in MLS the last 2 or 3 years, which is surprising because they used to be a non-player for the youth leagues. But now that it has produced multiple really good players, including Noah Buck and a couple other names who have been sold even overseas, like Duane Jones sold to Cincinnati, for example, as well. All that said, we're looking at a really good, I think more balanced team. Their entire defense is completely new. But I think the biggest name here is Leo Campana coming in from Inter Miami. Leo Campana found himself playing second fiddle to, Suarez, one of the best strikers of all time. But in reality, he is a starting striker in MLS, in any team. So the fact that they got this deal over the line, is pretty big deal. So I think I'll keep a huge eye on him. Other players, obviously, Carlos Hill, former MVP. I think even in the worst season,
Allegedly.
even in the worst season New England had last season, he was still a very bright spot there. Creates an incredible amount of chances, more than probably anyone else in MLS for what he has. So there's the talent there, and now there's somebody to finish it. They also signed Jackson Ewell as a free agent, who I thought was a player Nashville should have gone for. But he's now a New England player. couple other players. Chunkla is a big name, but I think he's injured, so I don't think he's going to be participating. And then, like I said, some younger sort of players. And then the last player I'll say, just Youssef, is a signing they made last summer, I believe, from the Belgian league. He, even with them being terrible last season, I thought he was a really good player. So I would keep an eye out on him. All in all, I think this is a revenge season probably for Caleb Porter, and he generally misses the playoffs, then wins MLS Cup. So this is on his schedule. This is the year he wins MLS Cup.
Thank you, Blair. Clay, anything you want to add?
Uh, I there's so many questions where like I'm just excited to see how things play out. So I feel like kind of foolish trying to say exactly how it is as we just did, the whole prediction thing. I do feel confident in Nashville getting something out of the first game. It is historically very hard to win on the road in MLS. Nashville's going to be coming out trying to prove that they're different. This is a different team, different era, different midfield. So I feel pretty high. I'm not as concerned necessarily about what New England's bringing to the table because I do think that Nashville is going to be coming out to prove a point, a proof of concept, how this team works and how this team's going to play together. Uh, and if it doesn't quite work out in the first game, you can't really use that as a measuring stick because it's the first game. But also, I think that there's going to be a lot riding on trying to get the excitement back around NSC. And so I'm expecting a pretty powerful performance from NSC.
Awesome. With that being said, Clay, why don't you give your plugs and predictions for the match?
Yeah, check me out at Clay Lassol on Twitter and Instagram. You can check out the Nashville Soccer Archive, nashvillesoccerarchive.com. Also, if you have anything that you would like to donate that you think is a piece of Nashville soccer history, please hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. We're always looking for donations. The physical archive is located within Vanderbilt University Special Collections. So I am always excited to add to that collection there. And hopefully, we'll have more this season about what we're going to be doing with that physical archive at Vanderbilt as we kind of move forward with this project. As far as the prediction, I think Nashville's going to win 2-0. I think Walker Zimmerman, as I said, is going to score the first goal. And I think the second goal is going to be a Hani Mukhtar free kick to seal it, and probably like the 70th, 75th minute, somewhere around there.
And for me, obviously follow me at Valer Shabila on socials, Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky are the most active for me. So make sure to do that and make sure to subscribe to 615 Soccer. That's how you support all of our work, including this show. So make sure you're subscribing there and you're staying in touch with us. For the prediction, there's a slight feeling I have that this is going to be an unhinged match, meaning that this is going to go off the rails. And I might have to give a Steven prediction in all honesty. So I think I'm going for a 3-3 draw. And I will say that Hani Mukhtar will score the first goal. Sam Surridge will get a goal. And I think an Alex Muyl will get a goal for Nashville SC. And then Leo Campana will score a hat trick for New England Revolution. I told you it's a Steven prediction.
I was really hoping that you would put like Alex Muyl in your goal scoring prediction as you just had this whole like thing about him this year. If you did not have him in a 3 goal, then I don't know necessarily.
Well,
But
he could have assisted all three. Yeah.
yeah, follow 615soccer.com, like I said, and Valera said, of course. Clay doesn't care about us, so that's fine. Also, check me out at PHStevenHD on my socials for all things there. I think it's going to be, I'm with Valera. I think it's going to be unhinged, but I have more optimism in Nashville SC at home in this unhingedness. I think it's going to be a 4-2 win for Nashville. Eddie Tagseth, of course, gets the first goal. And then Sam Surridge. No, who did I say had first hat trick? Oh, then Eddie Tagseth scores another 3 goals to get a hat trick. Well, no, he scores 3 goals. Sam Surridge scores one. Yeah, that's what I got.
Are you happy?
I'm happy.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's all that matters. I just want to make sure that you're happy. Thank you guys again so much for listening to the show. We truly do appreciate it. You all are great, fantastic people. Of course, we'll be back next week to kind of dive into Nashville SC's performance against New England, talk more about the season. We're back in it, folks, and I hope you are ready for it as much as I am and the rest of the team is here. Have a good rest of your day. Go Nashville SC, and we'll talk to you next week.